Welcome back, Chiefs Studios, NFL Studios, and everywhere else we are streaming across the board, Sector Stars, Twitter, Instagram. I want to thank you for joining us today. I wanted to get into yesterday's supreme performance from Jayden Daniels and talk just a little bit about the relationship that Jayden Daniels has for the Washington Commanders and offensive coordinator Kliff Kingsbury. Now, just a little history. I've been following Kliff Kingsbury's journey as a professional coach. I actually played high school football against Kliff Kingsbury when I played at Alamo Heights High School in San Antonio. And Kliff Kingsbury was quarterback for the New Braunfels Bucking Broncos. And he lit us up. I played linebacker, and he was throwing the ball all over the field. I think he had like almost 400-something yards in that game. But ever since then, there was big news around Kliff Kingsbury. Obviously, went and played a phenomenal career at Texas Tech, and then got drafted by the Patriots and backed up Tom Brady. Many people don't remember that or don't know that. So and then after his playing career was done, Kliff got a head coaching role at Texas Tech, right? His alma mater, and then famously coached Patrick Mahomes in his college career and lit up numerous college defenses. So Kliff Kingsbury runs an air raid type offense. It is a branch or a subsidiary of the West Coast offense with a few minor mixes in there, right? Air raid, essentially what is air raid? You spread them out and you throw the ball, mixing up some run plays. You have to have a good running game. He loves to have a good running game, which opens up the quick hits, and then we'll take shots down the field. But it does not work if you don't have the right parts. And getting into Jayden Daniels, Kliff Kingsbury coached at Arizona and had some pretty good success with the little midget down there in Phoenix, in Arizona, that is quarterbacking for the Cardinals. And yesterday got a chance to light up his previous team that employed Kliff Kingsbury. But Kliff is at a perfect spot. I always thought he would be a good head coach, but I always thought he was born to be an offensive coordinator. So being a head coach, you have disciplinarian authority over players. Everything falls on your shoulders as a head coach, right? Even bypassing the quarterback, everything falls on your shoulders as a head coach. Kliff, from what I understand, it's hard for him to be disciplined, quite honestly. He's pretty laid back. He's a very positive, let's move forward type of guy. Maybe not the best head coach, but a absolute perfect offensive coordinator. And he actually was the offensive coordinator for the number one pick this year, going to the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, and the USC Trojans last year, offensive coordinator. But moving back into the NFL, and again, getting back to all of the pieces, the air raid offense works if you have the pieces. And what the Commanders have are all the pieces that he needs, Kliff Kingsbury that is, for the offense to work. And you're seeing this is a perfect example of how this is working. Jayden Daniels, Kliff Kingsbury, when this draft was coming up, he wanted Jayden Daniels. That was his pick. Even from what I understand, they had the number 2 pick, but even if they had the number 1 pick, even though Kliff Kingsbury coached Caleb Williams at USC, the player he wanted, Kliff Kingsbury that is, was Jayden Daniels. That was his guy. They would have taken him number 1 overall if Washington had the number 1 pick. So Caleb Williams gets drafted number 1, Chicago. And guess what? Number 2 comes up, Commanders. They pick Jayden Daniels. An absolute perfect quarterback for this system. He's not only tall, he can not only move, he can throw the ball on the run. Very, very accurate. In fact, he just set the highest completion percentage, set a record, NFL record, highest completion percentage through the first 4 games to start any NFL season. He's at like 82% pass completion. Can throw the ball downfield, accurate, but amongst all of his physical abilities, the number one aspect, and I've heard Kliff in an interview, Kingsburry, say this, the number one aspect that Kliff holds dear to his heart as far as his as the QB is his smarts. Jayden Daniels is very, very articulate as far as having a high football IQ, meaning X's and O's, where to go with the ball, reading the defense, and then you combine his high football IQ with his phenomenal physical ability to throw the ball, run, when to call an audible. Everything falls into place, and you're seeing it come to fruition over these last few weeks of this NFL season. Jayden Daniels is lighting everybody up. And I really think they're going to be a force to reckon with. Maybe not this year, right? Still new. Hell, the way they're going, they'll make the playoffs. But can you expect a Super Bowl from Washington? Nah, I think that's a stretch. But I believe they will be very, very good here for years to come, right? Now, you have Dan Quinn as the head coach. He's a more defensive minded guy, right? Obviously, defense coordinator for many teams, Dallas last year. And basically how they have the head coach is head coach Dan Quinn, defensive guy. He basically has half the team. He basically monitors and coaches the defense. And then he's got Kliff Kingsbury running head of the offense. So you have 2 coaches, essentially 2 coordinators, combined with the defensive coordinator taking the head coaching role. But an absolute awesome hire by the new Washington Commanders ownership group. So happy to see this team play this well, right? I'm a big Kingsbury fan. My voice, even before the season started, I said this is what you need to watch, these two. I think this is a perfect match, a match made in heaven, just like the thumbnail says. And I think they're going to have a lot of success, right? So without getting flagged too much, let me see if I can, or flagged at all. Actually, let's do this. Let me show you the stats from yesterday, right? So check this out. So Washington beat Arizona Cardinals 42-14. They are 3-1. Washington dropped the Week 1 game, and Jayden Daniels was, I think he was more nervous than anything. I watched that first game, and he just looked nervous, right? And that's to be expected. It's your first NFL game for real. But Week 2, Week 3, Week 4, yesterday, he's been lighting people up. Let's see here. Let's look at these stats, right? So Jayden Daniels was 26 of 30 passing, 233 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. And Kyler Murray, the Murray midget, 16 of 22, 142 yards, 1 TD. Leading rusher Brian Robinson Jr. If they can he had 21 carries, 101 yards, 1 TD. For this air raid system to work, if you don't have a good running game, it takes away a huge aspect of what a running game brings to the table. Again, a good running game, a lot of people hear air raid and just think of throwing the ball. Well, it helps tremendously to have a good running game, because if the defense knows you have a good running game, they're going to be watching for the run when the ball is snapped. And then if you do play action, it really gets the linebackers, the safeties to bite on that play action. And then once the quarterback pulls the ball back and scans the field, you're going to have those linebackers and safeties that bit on that play action off a step or two. And it opens up the field for the wide receivers that are in their respective routes, right? If you do not have a good running game, air raid system still works. kind of like what you saw at Texas Tech, right? It still works, but it's not as efficient as it could be, because you need a good running game to also keep running the clock. Because when he was at Texas Tech, Kliff Kingsbury, and they had obviously Patrick Mahomes there, there were games he would he would throw 500 yards a game, but they would just throw and throw and throw and throw, and they would have a lot of 3 and outs, right? They would give the defense, the opposing team, the ball back. It's hard to control time of possession when you do not have a running game, and that's where the running game again is imperative to have. And it's so imperative for the air raid system to work, is because you can also take control of that time of possession, and it opens up the field for the wide receivers and the quarterback, right, to choose his target. Let's see here. I wonder if I can play. Let's see if I can play this highlight. Can y'all see that? Yeah, y'all can see that. Okay, check this out.
Jayden Daniels scanning, throwing, end zone, touchdown! Washington, McLaurin hauls it in.
Let's watch that again.
Jayden Daniels scanning, throwing, end zone, touchdown! Washington,
It wasn't it was on target. Dude caught the ball, but he gets the ball out quick. He has a strong arm. He does not have to step into his throw to get the ball off. Now, it helps to step into the throw for accuracy, and obviously he's very accurate. But he's got such a strong arm, as a handful of these NFL quarterbacks do, like Mahomes, where you can essentially have your 2 feet on the ground and not step into throw, meaning using your hips and torso as momentum to get that ball out. But Jayden Daniels has such a strong arm, he does not have to step into the throw, which can be very beneficial to these quarterbacks. Because if you got a guy hanging around your waist, if you got a guy wrapping your legs up, you do not have to step into a throw to get the ball at the proper target, right? So watch this one more time. We'll go to another one.
Jayden Daniels scanning, throwing, end zone, touchdown! Washington, McLaurin hauls it in.
So that was his one scoring touchdown, and I believe he had a rushing touchdown.
Jayden Daniels scanning, throwing, end zone, touchdown! Washington, McLaurin. And that Arizona defense, as the call, there he is wide open. Olamide Zaccheaus, who we should see more of today.
When I watched them last week, there were some runs that they did that I didn't even know what they were.
And Daniels has it.
Got the wheels,
it'll be a first and goal.
which is
Notice
good
the
for the
tempo here.
Their offense, because you don't know if he's going to run it or if he's going to throw. Right?
Jayden Daniels, a high throw, and right on target, and McLaurin.
The DB right to McLaurin, and watch him just go dead body right here. Dead limp leg, get the feet down, control the catch.
4th year back from Boise State, fake to him.
Roll out.
On the move, right on target is Daniels. Zaccheaus with the first down. McNichols the back at the 34-yard line of the Cardinals. Jayden Daniels has a moment here. And slips tackles, that's what he does. Slippery and quick.
Yeah, he does need to learn how to slide.
30.
I would like to see him slide a little more, right? I would like to see him take advantage of the rules that the quarterbacks get over, you can't hit them too hard. Definitely need to slide more. I've heard, though, he doesn't like to slide, but one big hit or, God forbid, an injury will teach him how to slide. But let's hope that doesn't happen. But I would like to see him slide some more.
In the last 4 weeks, he's comfortable wherever he plays. Doesn't matter.
And wherever he runs, it flips to Zach Ertz, the former Cardinal, 3 years as a member of the team.
You know, there are opportunities all over for Jayden Daniels.
Plenty of time. And down the middle, open.
Wow.
Inside the 38 is Zach Ertz. And 16 seconds for Washington. Jayden Daniels will take it out of bounds and get them a little bit closer. You see that green line? We put that out there to show you the kicking range. A 47-yard penalty, first and goal. And Daniels trying to follow his block. Jayden Daniels to the end zone, and he's got a touchdown.
You watch G scheme. Watch this. Block right here, and then we're going to get out here with these pullers out here. Design QB run, but Noah Brown completely dismantles the edge of
all of the plays. It's not they're not reinventing the wheel, right? Kingsbury has a proven system that works, just needs the right pieces in place. And I think, and they are in their first season together. So give them another draft, another season of bringing in players, free agency, maybe another draft. Kliff will be able to mold a even better offense, right? And that should sound scary to all the other NFC teams. They will be getting better. Jayden Daniels will be getting better. Remember, he's doing all this in his first season, first 4 games. So I cannot wait to see what this offense. I've never been a Washington Commanders fan ever, but I am a fan of Kliff Kingsbury. I'm a fan of Jayden Daniels, and I'm really looking forward to the remainder of these games. I know we just started, but I cannot wait to see what we have in store, the performances that they can put together, and see what happens, right? Look, Dan Quinn knows talent. He knows how to coach, so their defense should be getting better as we move forward. Defense had a really, really good game yesterday, only allowing 14 points from Arizona, and the offense should be getting better. So I think if you're a Commanders fan, you have a lot to look forward to. Y'all have sucked for so many years, and it's a good feeling, right, to have a competent front office, competent owner, competent head coach, competent coaches, and a good quarterback, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of success in Washington here, moving in DC area, moving forward with this Commander team, and I really look forward to the rest of the season. And I know I'm live streaming on multiple channels, NFL Studios, so we'll cover all NFL, but I'm also streaming on Chiefs Studios, which we normally focus on Chiefs, but hey, my channel, I can do what I want, right? So every now and then I will talk about other players and teams around the league as well, not just focusing on Chiefs, but we're focusing on an extraordinary performance from a extraordinary young man, Jayden Daniels, and a budding and growing offensive coordinator. Now, here's the deal: if you're Washington, what if, and we'll get out of here on this, what if at the end of the year, let's say they make it to the playoffs, let's say they're 10-7, right, or 11-6, have a pretty good year, make the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game, maybe make it to the NFC. What if Washington and faces 49ers in the playoffs, or Washington makes it to the NFC championship game versus Minnesota Vikings, and let's say they lose, right, or don't get to the Super Bowl but have a decent performance in the season and postseason? Is there going to be a team out there that's going to offer Kliff Kingsbury a head coaching job? Again, I personally don't believe a head coaching role fits Kingsbury. I believe he was born to be an offensive coordinator, just focusing on the offense. Or is a team out there saying, "Hey, we'll give you double"? So I think Kliff's making like $3-4 million a year as the OC. What if I don't know. What if the Falcons call Kingsbury in the offseason and say, "Hey, we'll give you double. We'll pay you we'll pay you $8 million to be our offensive coordinator, right? Just right under the head coach. Do you leave? I think if this season plays out how I think it's going to play out, meaning Jayden Daniels gets Rookie of the Year, which he will. His numbers are outstanding. They win a playoff game or so. I think if you're Washington, you have to do everything in your power to keep Kingsbury. If that means making him the highest paid offensive coordinator, then that's what you got to do. If you want to keep winning in this way, where you're putting up big numbers, you're getting fans excited, and there's just a lot of buzz around this team. There's not many other people you can bring in as a offensive coordinator, as a play caller, as a coach. There's not many people you can bring in that role where you will have the same outcome as what we're seeing right now. So it's imperative, Washington, the front office, the ownership group, you gotta keep Kingsbury in this role no matter what. Even if that means you got to make him the highest paid OC, that's what you got to do. If you want to continue to have games that look like this and outcomes that look like this and statistics that look like this, you're going to have Kingsbury in the offensive coordinator role, and you're going to have Jayden Daniels as your QB. So this match is a match made in heaven, and you have to do everything in your power to keep it that way. So we'll end it there. Chief Studios, NFL Studios, and everything else across the board. My name is Taylor Bell. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Peace.